What I'm personally interested in is interviewing people to get their spiritual experiences and their metaphysical experiences and just hearing it from directly from the source. And yeah, just personal experiences. That's what I'm really interested in. And UFOs, of course. But
of course, my motivation behind Stellar Dimensions is really it's an outlet for us to really talk about our truth and what we're really interested in. And a lot of the things that we're both interested in is spirituality, psychological processes, different types of phenomena that is extraordinary. And we really want to give a different bent to the type of people that are we interview, because mainstream people don't really talk to the little people. They don't talk to people who aren't famous. We want to talk to people who are local. Well, I mean, we'll certainly talk to people who are high profile, but we really want to get a lot of different multi-view of all the different practices and different processes that we're talking about. And this is something I'm really passionate about. I really, as I'm growing spiritually, I'm really finding that I want to record and educate the world about what's out there. And a lot of people aren't familiar with these different practices. And this is something that I personally live by. I adopt a lot of these different practices, and I'm a very curious person that I certainly want to find out more about what else is out there. So my journey is your journey, and we want to bring you aboard.
I want to go on my own personal journey and then share our journeys, share our discoveries with others so that they can experience that. So that's really important to me. So it's kind of like sharing my own personal experiences with the world so that they can learn and grow as I learn and grow. And I'm really interested in helping these average Joes and Janes, talk to other average people, and hear it from them, what they're experiencing. I think that that's really powerful when we do that for each other, where we share, our own experience, where if we had a psychic experience or some profound UFO experience or something, and we go and we share what we had and we start talking about this stuff, because it's been so hush-hush that a lot of time when people have experiences like this, they won't even necessarily talk about them because they're afraid they're going to get ridiculed. But if lots of people are saying, no, this happened to me, and then someone else is like, no, well, this happened to me, and then it's like, no, it's not so weird. So why, if someone starts getting ridiculed, they can be like, look, other people are experiencing it too. It's not just me. I'm wanting to kind of blow the hush-hush off this whole thing, make it more socially acceptable to be because I can't even talk about this stuff in my own family right now. And that's kind of one of my own personal motivations is like, I'm going to be able to have this channel and be like, look, guys, when I start talking, because I want to be able to go into my family and be able to be like, just talk about what I'm interested in and the experiences I have, and not have to keep that all so silent and parallel reality,
I'm motivated in starting Stellar Dimensions with my partner, Joanna. My main motivation is that I have an outlet for people to really be able to talk about different types of spiritualities, alternative psychological practices, ancient traditions, all these things that people normally discredit. I want to make sure that we can actually go there and talk to these people, bring these to light to the mass audience, and let them judge for themselves what is something that they agree with and what they don't. The main thing is that we really want to educate people and get the correct information, that we are honoring all the people that we're interviewing. We're going to have interviews every week with different people of different practices and teachers. Make sure that their words are truthfully stated. People can hear all about them, and we want to create the conversation with people. Make sure that people are talking about these different types of topics, and we want to be one of the major outlets to cover this.
Yeah, I'm really interested in doing this channel because I want to create something that would have been really helpful for me when I was starting out in my spiritual journey, when I was having spiritual experiences and wondering if other people were also experiencing this, or if I was alone. So I'm really interested in helping people, like average people that have these psychic or spiritual phenomena or metaphysical experiences, UFOs, etc., find each other and just realize that you're not alone out there. This topic is still very hush-hush in the mainstream. It's still not really socially acceptable to really talk about this at your average family meeting or talk about this. Like, I grew up very fundamentalist Christian and with a family that's very cynical and even skeptical about this type of thing. I think there's a big difference between being cynical versus skeptical Cynicism is coming in with a closed mind, thinking that it's all wrong or fate, whereas skepticism is coming in saying, I don't know if this is right or wrong, and I'm going to explore it and find out. So I think it's really important to be skeptical, not just to accept that everything that you hear is fact, but I also think it's important not to come in with a closed mind and decide that you've already made up your mind before you even get here that it's wrong. So I've had so many experiences of my own that it's really made me passionate about helping other people also be able to express and explore. We are really interested in interviewing contemporary spiritual teachers, really interested in going and talking to them and asking them what inspired them to enter this spiritual journey that they're on. It's not something that people automatically just one day decide they're going to go on a spiritual journey for no good reason. Usually something motivated it, some spiritual experience, some feeling, some deep, undescribable calling. I think that that's really important to acknowledge and explore. One topic we are very interested to cover on this channel is the topic of intergenerational spirituality. Now, what I mean by that is the baby boomers, how they experience spirituality versus now the millennials, and also Generation X and Generation Z, and just kind of how each generation had their own kind of experience and their own perspective and methodologies for approaching their spirituality, and how each generation has contributed something very specific to the development of consciousness on the planet.
I think that's going to be a really good topic because it really hasn't been explored. It really hasn't been covered by the media. I don't see a lot of information about how the different generations have changed in terms of the way that they perceive and view and practice spirituality and different types of phenomena that people are starting to witness and start to practice. So I think this is going to be something that's original content for us. We like to really get deep into many different interviews, witnesses, being able to show different perspectives. I'm really excited about presenting that to the general audience, have this as a topic of conversation, because it really isn't discussed very much, hardly at all. I've seen very little information about it.
One of those experiences was an event that happened about a year or two ago. I was driving home from work one day, and I glanced up at the gas station where I normally get my gas, and I saw that the price of gas was going to jump significantly to an unusually high number. And I was like, whoa, that's a really intense experience. It had the feeling of a premonition. I've had them in the past as well, so I recognized the flavor of the feeling. So the next day, I heard that there had been an oil spill, and as I was driving home from work once again, sure enough, the price of gas had indeed jumped to that same exact number that I had the premonition of the day before. So that was one of the many experiences that I've had that has made me realize that there is definitely something here, something worth exploring, and something that I'm very excited to hear other people's experiences with that and share their experiences with the world. Very interested in making this topic and this subject much more socially acceptable to discuss, so that those of us that have these experiences are no longer having to keep our voices silent for fear of being ridiculed.
So what aspect of that vision that you had, the premonition, motivated you to want to explore more of why this was happening to you?
It was about the fact that there is something clearly there, that it's not just all in your head. That's not that's not just a schizophrenic episode or hallucination, from something you ate or something. There's something significantly there. It's there when you see it mirrored externally in your reality, or something that you could not have controlled or influenced.
What I want to explore with Stellar Dimensions is that I really want to get deeper into the coverage of these witnesses and their practices, especially with the teachers, and make sure that we find out as much information as possible for the general audience. We really don't want to do this very cursory exploration. We really want to get more deeper into the coverage of the topics that we're discussing. And so we're going to back this up. We're going to have interviews that really look at the full grasp of the interviewee, find documentation or research behind a lot of these topics. So we want to do a lot of the work for you, bring you along on this journey. That's going to be and I think people will be very happy with the way that we approach this.